Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. Got a question in from Tuhin Tulsian. Hope I'm saying that right. Hey, I'm looking to upgrade from my Canon 550D. I want to be able to take on professional engagement, beauty, fashion, photo shoot assignments. I am preferably looking for full frame camera. Kindly help me with your expert advice regarding what shall be my next upgrade. Thanks. Okay, so you're already in the Canon system. So a couple of things that I need to ask you, you need to figure out for yourself. A is how much glass do you have? If you're only invested in Canon APS-C glass, in other words, like the EFS glass that's only usable pretty much on the APS-C bodies and not on full frame bodies, then I wouldn't worry about the glass. If you have a lot of full frame glass or have some full frame glass, that may be a consideration on whether you stay with Canon or switch to another system. Cost wise, you're coming from the 550D, you're not giving me a budget. If you want the best economical full frame to go with, it's one of two cameras basically. If you're looking at Canon or Nikon. And you haven't said that you're really interested in mirrorless. So for this argument, I'm going to stay with Canon and Nikon because they're both going to be probably the best economically as well. And that's either the Canon 6D, and with the 6D Mark II coming out, prices I think are starting to drop even further, but you can get some really good deals on the 6D. I'll put a link below. You can check it out on Amazon, best price, user reviews, etc. Or you could go with the Nikon D610 or even the D600, which is the predecessor, which is decent. Just make sure it didn't have the oil spot issue. So I personally, if you don't have a heavy investment in glass and you don't care to stay with Canon, if you don't care either way, I would go with the D610 simply because I think it has a better sensor. Well, I know it has a better sensor. It's got more resolution. It performs better. It's one of the top ranked sensors when you look at sensor rankings, and the 6D doesn't come anywhere close to that. Now, that said, the 6D is still a very decent camera. If you do want to stay with Canon, if you have a significant investment in Canon glass, I don't have a problem with you getting the 6D. But if there's no investment in Canon and you don't care which system you're in, the D610 offers more for your money. It's a better value. It's a very, very good value for a full frame system to get into, full frame camera. I would be very comfortable shooting the D610 with an 85 f1.8G or even one of the older f1.8s like the f1.8D, if you could find one of those at a better price. And then I would probably, for my standard zoom, probably a 24 to 120 f4 VR is what I would get there. And then you can look at whatever other primes you want depending on what focal length you want. Some people like a longer lens. You might want a 105 f2.8 for portraits. But a great starting point is the D610 with an 85mm f1.8G. That's a beautiful setup. It's going to give you very top-notch, best-in-class image quality for doing portraits, engagement, beauty, and fashion stuff. Again, you might want the zoom depending on the fashion shoots you're doing, but for any of the portrait work, an 85 f1.8G on the D610 is going to be beautiful. Same if you do go with the Canon 6D. The Canon 85mm f1.8 is a very nice lens too, and very economical. It's a good setup there as well. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Would you go with the D610 as a preference, or would you rather go with the 6D? Do you agree with what I'm saying about if you're invested in some Canon glass, especially if it's full frame glass? I'm not talking about the crop sensor glass, that you might want to stay with Canon for that reason. If not, I will go with the Nikon for the advances and the better sensor and the better image quality. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Let's help out Tuhin, I hope I'm saying that right, and give him some different things to think about and help him make his decision. Thanks for your question. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.